Today we talk to Noemie and Vanessa from HubSpot. They will tell us how it is to work for a very, very rapidly growing software company. Stay tuned. Welcome to HR Visionaries, where we unlock the secrets of modern HR. I'm Benjamin, your host. Join us as we shed light on today's HR universe with HR leaders and innovators from across the globe. Whether you're an HR pro, a business leader, or just curious about the future of work, this is your shortcut to the forefront of HR innovation. Brought to you by Hire, the AI talent attraction platform. Welcome to our new podcast episode. So today we're talking to Vanessa and Noemie from HubSpot. And we're very happy to have you as guests in our podcast.
Hi, happy to be here. Thanks for inviting us, Benjamin.
Yeah, super delighted to be present and to be able to share some insights from HubSpot and career tips and share more about our own experience. So delighted.
Awesome. Noemie, Vanessa, would you in 2 or 3 sentences just give us a short introduction? Who are you?
Whoever you want to go first.
Okay, so my name is Noemie. I'm currently an inbound success coach director. So you can, it's an inbound BDR role team that I lead for EMEA and APAC. And I've been at HubSpot for more than 8 years now.
Yeah, and I'm Vanessa. I'm originally from Malaysia, but currently live in Munich, Germany. I've been working for HubSpot since December 21 in the emerging talent area, and I'm responsible for university partnerships and programs where I do events and like talks like this to give career tips and help students find a job that suits them.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. And maybe a quick question. What is HubSpot? What does HubSpot do?
I think, Noemie, you'll be the best one to answer this question.
Yeah, no, that's obviously, I think, the best question to start with. Like, what do we do? So HubSpot is an all-in-one platform to help organizations grow better. So the tool offers a suite of actually connected tools from marketing, sales, customer service, and operation to help companies attract, engage, and delight their customer throughout their journey. So that's what we do.
Yes, it's very interesting. So, so since when is HubSpot around?
In 2006, we originated from Boston, Massachusetts. So that's where our first office was based. And then we started growing into different locations. The one here in Germany started 5 or 6 years ago, so 2016 as well. And the European region has been expanding. So last year, we recently opened offices in Netherlands, Quebec, and Spain. 14 global offices worldwide.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating dynamic, or the dynamics are super interesting that you're like spending a lot globally. So, what do your so why do clients buy your product?
Yeah, I think HubSpot was designed because or was created originally because of inbound marketing. That's how we started, with the need and desire to change the way we purchase. So before the sellers or the sales rep had all the power, and that shifted with internet, and that's where inbound marketing was born, and giving the ability to customers to actually do the research online. And that's what HubSpot came in, not only with inbound marketing and how to approach a new way of selling, but also giving the opportunities to company to give that information and help educate customers when they're about to buy. So that's how it started. And so HubSpot now, with that philosophy, provides the tool for those companies to create the content and put the content online and to track like everything from that journey. So hosting the website, creating a blog, hosting social media campaigns, to then helping the sales team with one-on-one emails, like prospecting campaigns, and then like customers. So I repeat a bit of like what I said a bit earlier, but that's truly part of how we can help company grow there.
I think why a lot of customers like it is because everything is crafted together and not cobbled in individual pieces. So with other tools, you usually have to download from one platform, upload it to another platform so that you get the analytics at the end, and that causes a lot of headaches and confusion because the tool or the thing that you're downloading from might report it differently than what you're uploading it to. And with HubSpot, it's all in one, so that you don't have to go through this trouble. So sales team sees what marketing team sees, what operation team sees. So it really helps the company do well.
Yeah, Vanessa, you got the pitch, don't you? Oh, wow.
Been listening to a lot of sales reps.
That's amazing.
Well, as a former banker, I'm really sad that Excel files are no longer the main method to share information. Well, in many banking systems, you have the problem of, okay, you have one system here, then you download stuff, upload it somewhere else, then download the information again, which is, well, remarkable in many ways, because it's like, okay, it's not very comfortable, and then at the same time, in terms of like speed, it's also pretty slow then, right? And therefore you build that a very comprehensive solution, and it's actually quite remarkable that you can offer all in one, basically.
Yep.
100%.
And well, can you tell me a bit more about, well, your clients are? So is it something that, well, when I work at HubSpot, I work with clients from certain sectors, a specific size of a company? So who buys your product?
Yeah, Vanessa, you want to go ahead?
So it depends. So the philosophy is usually that like we want to make sure the company that buys the product can use it 100% as well, and it's not like selling for the sake of selling and selling for reaching the target from our business perspective.
So yeah, we specialize in small to medium-sized companies. Like this is really where, because in the past, CRM platforms, if you wanted to invest in a CRM platform, you needed to invest in someone internally that had kind of developer capacities and skills to help you integrate that with your company. And so what HubSpot does is like it gives you that ease of use interaction, which now is like simple of use platform for like smaller and mid-sized companies that might not have the budget to invest in a developer, but they still are equipped with a really powerful tool to help them achieve like the growth that they want to achieve. We do, though, like while we are really putting our focus to the small and medium-sized companies, we are implementing and developing tools to help like bigger, like big accounts and big companies, because we know that they have specific needs that we want to make sure that we equip them with. So that in terms of like this company size, how we our focus are in terms of industries, there are certain industries that we know we can help a lot. So you mentioned the SaaS one. We use our own platform as well, so we know how it works and why like SaaS obviously could benefit from it. However, we know like if you look at our case study page on our website, we help a lot of different industries. So there's not one specific that we help with, because we know that all companies needs to generate traffic on their website, needs to like sales teams need to be equipped with tools to help them sell better. So I think we can help a lot of companies, and that's why like it wouldn't be able to give you like specific ones. Yeah.
Is there a specific case study, however, you think is like super interesting because it like covers a lot of what you do, and what your clients are able to achieve with using HubSpot in terms of like, since it's of course reaching out to clients, it's pretty cool that you then see, okay, revenue is growing.
I wouldn't be able to tell you one specific one. I think it really depends on what, like, me as a company, what pain point do I have? What do I want to solve, or what goal do I want to achieve? And that will kind of guide you to, okay, seeing one company that had the same pain point or the same goal and how they achieved it through the platform. So that may be something that we can come back with. But I would say, like, just go on the website page and you will see there's tons. They're really exciting to see. I don't know, Vanessa, if you had one in mind that you've seen coming up more often.
No, same like your answer, because like a lot of companies use the tools differently as well with how it fits to their company. So I can't really give you a specific answer. Maybe an example would be like, if NGOs, they work with a lot of volunteers or looking for volunteers, they need the website. So like they need the CRM part of the tool to kind of like show off what they do as an NGO, need the marketing tool to reach out to companies to partner up with them, or like do like email campaignings, and then need the sales part of the tool to reach out to companies to partner up with them. So like that could be an example, but like a company specifically, I don't have one in mind at the moment.
But it's a very nice example, right? So I think it explains incredibly well how HubSpot works for your clients. So when it comes to software, it's sometimes for the end user a bit frustrating if stuff doesn't work as it's supposed to work. So how do you support your clients with that respect? So, well, myself being like, I think, kind of capable in the field of software, but occasionally it's of course like, okay, gosh, well, there's so much work to do then, and it takes me so long to get up to speed with a specific software.
Yeah, go for
so
it.
We have so we have CSM teams, which is the customer success managers, who usually do calls with their customers as well to see if there's any problems, see if anything needs to be updated. We also have solutions engineers, which is basically the team that deals with the software as well. And also we partner up with other companies to help teach the HubSpot software to new customers, and basically onboarding specialists, I would say. Is anything I'm missing?
I would say one that is super important is we believe on helping also all, like, upskill all our users. So not only with the methodology, but also how to use our tool. And so we've put a lot of content online for our users to help not only start, but also like master like their own skill, or like, let's say, like social media or blogging, like how to master and become like really good in content creation, as well as using the tool in order to achieve that. So we do have certifications that are online and free. We do have a special blog, knowledge articles, also for the tools. So we have a vast array of content for users there, so that they can implement the campaigns that they want to implement and not being blocked because they don't know how to use the tool, which I understand could be really frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the contrary, so what were like situations you had, perhaps also together with your client at HubSpot, that really made you feel very, very happy, very proud to work at HubSpot?
So before joining HubSpot, I was actually a HubSpot customer 9 years ago. And after joining HubSpot, I worked with customers for more than 5 years. So I've seen a lot of different examples and situations. I think, talking from maybe my own experience, when I started working with HubSpot as a customer, inbound marketing was not a big thing back then. And one thing that I was really thankful for is all that content, because what HubSpot helped me do is not only being successful as a professional, because by attending webinars, looking at certifications, I think there was only one back then, but like by attending webinars, listening to or like reading through the blog articles, I was able to launch my first workflow, which again, for me, I was starting my career back then. It was really hard to find that information. It's not something I had studied at school back then. And so thanks to that blog article and putting live my first workflow, generating my first leads, that made me successful and obviously helped the company I was working for. So that was one of my success. But after looking at customers specifically, when they reach their campaign goals, whether it's like visits or lead generation, it's definitely a milestone that, at least on my side, made me really, really happy about the job and seeing their success.
No, but it's like a very, very cool story that you're so invested in your clients' success and in making and empowering your clients to achieve their goals.
And I think something also is when, so Vanessa, you mentioned the CSM team, which are like account managers that work with a certain number of clients. And so, that's what I was doing for our agency specifically. And you do have like calls every month, every 6 weeks with them. So you build a strong relationship with them. And so on top of seeing them succeeding and achieving their goals, it's also really fulfilling to see them, like, thanks to that, getting a promotion, evolving within the company. And so it just like, it's more than numbers. It's just like, you really do create like a strong partnership, which is really fulfilling.
What are trends you guys identify as like incredibly valuable for your company, but also for your clients going forward? So for the next several years, so how will HubSpot change?
If we start with HubSpot, I think what drives our, like, the company, it's our mission. And that's how we base like all the decisions that we make. And our mission is to help millions of organizations grow better. So every decision that we make, from the product, from the way we are organized and structured internally, really is about answering that question. How can we be more efficient to help our customer grow? What product or what tool can we optimize, develop to help answer the needs of our vast base of customers? So I think we can go into like specifics after, but I think it's important for me to really share like the base of every decision that we make starts from the mission that we want to accomplish, which is help millions of organizations grow better.
Yeah, I think Noemie answered that perfectly. I don't think there's anything else to add. So like we don't follow trends just to be trendy, but like we make sure like anything we implement is basically it's really helpful for the customers as well.
So as an HubSpot employee, I'm also very close to my clients to understand where their needs are and then implement those changes accordingly.
Yeah, so like the team gets feedback and then it gets passed on to the product team as well to see like what makes sense, what doesn't make sense for the next implementation and things like that.
So how does it work exactly? So how can you institutionalize such a process where, well, probably hundreds or maybe 1,000 of people have kind of different interests, different ideas, and are very eager to get their product change approved and going?
Yeah, this is a great question. And obviously every company is like, oh, I wish I could see this. And like, I think that's where there's two things to that. There is the company like we have our mission and we have the vision, right? Of like, okay, who are the type of company that we want to focus on most, and prioritize, because obviously the need of a company that has 10,000 employees and a vast number of customers is different than a company of 25 employees. So it just, I think like that's something that we definitely focus on first, like, okay, what is our vision for the next 5-10 years and forward, so that we can build a product and make the optimization and the changes based on that vision. So as I've mentioned, like where we want to continue to focus on is small and medium-sized companies, obviously like helping those that are bigger, but we still want to cater for our small and mid-sized customers. So that's helps us make decisions on the type of tools that we want to optimize or create. Then how do we institutionalize the kind of feedback loop and what tools to focus on? So there's a couple of ways that we do that. One is on, I don't know, I think it's still live, but it's the Idea Forum. I don't know if you've ever been on that one, Benjamin.
No, I haven't. I definitely have to get on this.
Okay, so it's a page. We can Google it just right now, but it's a page where like each, I think it might be no, I won't say, because I might say something wrong here, but yeah, it's a page where
forgive me if I interrupt, it's pretty impressive. So if I Google Idea Forum, this is the first hit, Idea Forum HubSpot. So guys, well done.
Oh, HubSpot ideas. Yeah, it's there from the community. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was under the community spectrum or in a different one. And so on that website, you can search. So let's say there's something that you would love to see within the workflow tool. So you would either search, and that's what I would recommend, like searching if other customers have had the same ideas as you, or like have the same need and would like to see it. And if that's the case, amazing, you can vote that idea. And obviously if it's not there, I would highly recommend for you to add it in there, because if you have it, potentially other customers have it as well. And so the goal is after for you as a customer to vote for it. And so the ideas that gets the most vote obviously kind of pop up, and our engineering team and product team kind of scan that website really, really regularly. And that's where like we've got, I wouldn't be able to tell you one specifically, but I know they're pretty adamant of reviewing that website and implementing the ideas that have most votes and obviously align with the vision that the company has. And another thing that we do have internally is, there's also like CSMs, right? So we have account managers working with our customers. And so from the ideas that's something that they would share with our product team. However, I think the ideas page is probably a lot more powerful because the product team hears directly from our customers. And the last one we have is that we have a certain number of customers. So when we release some beta, which are like before like putting something live, we have a set of customers that can be involved in a beta and give feedback and help us build a tool that they need. So that's another avenue that we have. Sorry, I got in a long-winded answer, but you have all the details.
I like that a lot. I like that idea also a lot. So you already mentioned at HubSpot, you have very different kind of jobs and occupations. So you have people in the sales area, in customer success management, also, lots of developers, I guess, people who come up with ideas like we need the HubSpot HubSpot idea forum. works at HubSpot?
So our company is like divided into 3 different pillars. We have like the flywheel pillar, which consists of marketing and sales, the company pillar, which is like people operations, general and administration, legal, finance. I think that's it. And then the product pillar, which is the engineering team and the product managers as well. So like that's it's a vast range. And in sales, there's then even more different sectors of the team. So we have ISC, which is a team that Noemie manages, is the inbound success coach. That's like very basic entry-level role as well. And then the next one is like business development representative, who does prospecting and so on. And we also mentioned account managers before. So like in all of these different teams, there are also multi-levels of career paths to go through and go into.
So maybe you can tell us a bit about why and how you ended up at HubSpot. So Noémie already told us, okay, well, she has been a user and then, and then started at HubSpot. But Vanessa, how is it with you? And Noémie, we need some more details around that.
Yeah, sure. So I mainly have startup experience before. So I was mainly working for startups in Munich. And for me, being like an international in Germany as well, diversity was a very important key with the companies that I was working with. And before I started working at HubSpot, or before I had the call with HubSpot, I didn't know like there was this huge, vast difference on how diversity could be. So when my current manager reached out to me over LinkedIn, and I just wanted to like jump in and have a call to just learn a bit more about HubSpot, I realized bigger companies or like HubSpot has more value on diversity than what the startups that I was working before puts value on. So at the time when I was reached out on, I don't know if you know, there was this the shooting in Atlanta in the US, where a lot of Asian people were killed, and me being an Asian, I was highly affected by it as well. And it was, it affected me because nobody in Germany talked about this, because nobody, it's not to say that they don't put value on it, but like I guess the news just didn't travel that far. And when I was having the conversation with my current manager now, who was basically pitching HubSpot to me as well, he was saying how his manager at the time even asked him if he wanted to take some time off to kind of like see the situation, like kind of like recuperate from the situation. And that's what a lot of managers at HubSpot do. It doesn't have to be just Asians or like any case. It can be any case in general. It can be the new laws that are passed for LGBTQ and things like that. If anybody needs space to talk about things, to kind of like take time for themselves, they can. And it basically shows me that HubSpot puts a very high value on diversity, not just in cultural perspective, but also like in gender, in LGBTQ plus, and so on as well. And that's what really attracted me to HubSpot, is that they do a lot of good for the world. So like they 2 years ago, I think during Earth Day, they donated to WWF as well. And that also is a major value to me, because sustainability and environment is very important to me. So it shows that HubSpot as a company puts value into the world, basically wants everyone to grow better. And that's what really attracted me there.
That's a very, very cool story, in particular when you, had such a terrible situation, and then, HubSpot as an employer reacting very positively and very actively to such a, to such a disaster, to such terrible circumstances. So that's it's very remarkable and a very nice story to share. Noémie, would you like to share some information with us? So how you turned from a convinced user towards a convinced employee?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, when I was a HubSpot customer, and I was working in the United States as a customer back then. And so yeah, my visa was up, and so I was asking myself, like, what should I do? Where should I go next? like having an international experience was something really important for me. And so having with like all the success or like the impact that I was able to make with HubSpot for the company I was working in, yeah, I got like I remember one day I was talking to a support person about like I wanted to integrate the CRM with HubSpot, so I was asking for help, and HubSpotters being really friendly and human, so we started talking a bit more, and that's where I shared. I was like, well, I'm going to leave the company, so because I like my visa is up, so I need to find my next step. And so that's where she put me in touch with the HR person, because they just had opened the Dublin office. I think they was not even a year old, which was the first international office. And yeah, 3 weeks later, after my interview process, I was joining HubSpot. And so what made me convinced on as an employee? Well, I think like obviously seeing firsthand the impact that HubSpot could have on businesses and on people's career was definitely one major point. Vanessa also mentioned like all the impact on like employees first. I think that's something that is really at the like HubSpot culture is a pillar of the company. It's really embedded in everything we do. And the last one for me is well, actually there's two, but the transparency, like it's part of our value, being transparent. After university, I wanted to do an MBA. It was something I had in mind. I was like, okay, I finished university, I go do an MBA, but I got rejected from that MBA because I didn't have enough experience back then. And so since I joined HubSpot, the level of transparency that we have access to, or like the access of information that we have, is not something that I've seen in any other company. So it feels like that's usually like an analogy that I use often is like I'm doing a live MBA, because I can see and understand. I can like it helped me so much understand how like HubSpot business work, how other business work as well. How our executives make decision, like what information do they leverage, what decision framework are they using, the impact that it have. And so I haven't done my MBA yet because I'm doing it live, and I've grown and learned so much. And that level of transparency and growth is something that has kept me in the last like 8 years, getting to 9 soon, like kept me really, really like bought in and delighted.
Oh, and it's even cheaper than most MBAs,
Yeah,
I guess,
it
right?
is cheaper.
Well, when you look back on a Friday, and you say to yourself, okay, that was a great week. What had happened in that week then?
I think that's a very good question, and I think our answers will vary quite a lot because we do completely different things as well. Because like of my university program track, a lot of the things that I do day to day is very different because it depends on what's going on in the season. Is it semester running? Is it during semester break, and so on? But what I would say that would be a successful week is that projects are running smoothly. So like depending in that time period, if I'm doing any sort of projects, for example, I was running a brand and communication strategy project for my team, and we just wrapped up last week as well. So that would have been a successful week. Closing events like this and getting great feedback from students as well through the NPS survey that we sent out would be a successful week, and having like great collaboration with the team as well. Like me being an individual contributor, is quite hard to collaborate with teams quite a lot because I'm mainly doing events on my own and things like that. But like if we work like on team projects and things like that, if it runs smoothly and like everybody brainstorm and give ideas in the right way, that would be a successful week for me, I would say.
Yeah, and on my side, true, we do have different weeks and different I guess, goals. So right now, for me, like the three things that I focus on, being a director of the like inbound sales department, is like threefold. Is like defining, I'm working on defining and executing on the department strategy. I spend a lot of time in coaching my managers, and also like doing a lot of interviews. And so for me, what a successful week would be, I think the first one on the coaching side, like when I see one of my manager or an ISC kind of reaching a milestone or improving on a certain skill, like for me, seeing the growth of my team is probably like, for me, what makes like the biggest success of a week, because I'm successful if they're successful. So that would probably be the highest success I could get in a week.
That's great. Well, we need to talk a bit about the coaching part, because so when coaching very often sounds to me a bit like, okay, people telling other people what to do, without like taking into consideration how the personality of those people who are coached are. So how do you approach coaching?
Yeah.
In a different way, I hope.
In a different way, indeed. Yes.
You know what? I really hate when people try to coach me who try to change my personality. And it's okay, like, okay, well, yeah, maybe no.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Having someone that's trying to change who you are, it's probably not the best approach. No, like what we on the coach, like I think the coaching and the approach that that we have is, again, it always comes from with the premise of like, how can we make someone successful, and how can we help them get the tool so that they can do it themselves, right? Like the goal of, like, at least my goal is to make myself obsolete and equip my manager so that they can do the same without like needing me at all. And so on the coaching side, it's like each individual is unique, and like when I hire or build my team, is I build them because of, or like I hired him because of who they are, and I value all of the points of their personality. However, like there are some aspects in competencies and skills that they need to improve upon. They have strengths and they have weaknesses. And so it's like, how can I coach them to help like master and get even better on their strength, because that's something that is often forgotten because we only focus on weaknesses. So it's like, how can I supercharge their strength so that I know it's going to benefit their team, but how can I help them build not the tools, but like build the skills that will help them be even better. And it's not giving them the answer. When I see, like, the best analogy for a coach is like, how can you help someone learn how to fish? It's not like fishing for them, but it's like help them how to fish. And so it's not coming with the answer, it's asking the question to help them think through.
Okay, I love that. And what was your single cool situation at HubSpot so far, or the most remarkable? I don't know how to put that in a better way.
Yeah, Vanessa, go ahead.
I have to think a bit about this. I would say the people connection would be remarkable for me, because like being a remote employee, I don't have, so like HubSpot allows you to work from anywhere as long as we have an office in the location. So people can choose to be remote or like a mix of remote or in office or completely in office. So being a complete remote employee who loves people interaction, it's kind of hard, like with no office to go into and things like that. And people are really understanding about that, and they are always open for a coffee chat, and HubSpot always find ways to let their remote employees be connected as well. So we have this thing for remote employees where they can meet up like once a month or once a quarter or anything like that, and they can reimburse it back with HubSpot as well at the end of it. So like we have 30 euros spending budget for it, for example. And the easy connection is what I find quite remarkable as well. And also a lot of the growth talks that I've had with my manager so far since my journey, and a lot of it is like Noemie mentioned, like focus on how he can use my personality and my skills to help me grow better, instead of like telling me like, hey, you need to be more strategic in your approach here, or like, hey, you need to be more serious when you're giving a speech and things like that, where it's like they really try to see how they can equip your personality and help you grow. So I think those would be like what I find quite remarkable so far.
And yeah, on my side, I think definitely like the open door policy is something that I really find remarkable and great, like especially when it's like one of your first or second job. It can be quite intimidating, especially if whether you're in the office, and I would say even more remote, because it's like you're on your own. Who do you contact? Who can you contact? I think that's it. Just like there's a lot of unspoken rules sometimes that can be limiting. And so for me, the open door policy has definitely been, at least that I found at HubSpot, really good, because I've been able to talk to a vast array of people that I would never thought to be able to not only talk to, but that would actually give me their time to help like answer questions and guide me. And I think to that, I was able to get some incredible mentors within the company that like, gave me their like knowledge, experience, and that they were really freely and genuinely like giving and sharing with me, which I think is for me like one of the strength of the company, and something that I find really, really nice.
That's awesome. And well, maybe for those who listen and or watch us, if I like all this, if I like software, how can I join HubSpot?
So there's quite a few ways on how you can join HubSpot as well. So like us being a tech company, everybody would think like we only have software engineering jobs, but like I mentioned before, no, we don't only have software engineering jobs. But if you're coming from the software engineering area, like you study business informatics or informatics, we do have like a lot of different internships going on, fall, summer, and spring internships that you can usually do with HubSpot as well. Just keep a lookout on the career page. We usually open applications from June to August, but because of like the amount of applications we get, we might close it early as well. So do keep an eye out on that. If you're looking more into the business area, one thing I do have to point out is that just because we're a tech company doesn't mean you need tech experience to be able to work with us. I think that's what a lot of students misunderstand about tech companies, and apparently is still like a stigma that is going on right now. So like if you're coming really from business, yeah, you can join us, of course, as long as you have the drive, the motivation as well, especially for sales. Like if you have the motivation and the perseverance to learn and to grow, you're perfect for us. We even accept people without degrees. Like we have somebody who is been at the company, I think 2 years now, and he's an account executive. And he's only like starting to pursue his degree right now with the tuition reimbursement that we have as a benefit at HubSpot. So we accept career changers, people without degrees, because for us, it's just important that you have the motivation to grow and the motivation to learn. Yeah.
That's
Noemie,
awesome.
you have anything to add?
Nothing to add. We're hiring right now, so go on the website. That's the only thing I would say.
Perfect. Noemie, Vanessa, thank you so much for your insights. I really enjoyed our chat, and great many thanks for all your insights and for the positivity you shared with us. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, thanks a lot for listening, for watching. We have linked all relevant connections and links below. Check out the HubSpot site and see you next time. Bye-bye.